one at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Mr. Primetime.
What's up, fellow hater?
The New York Jets have won 3 in a row, my friend. They are 4-3.
There's no style points in this league. Stack the wins any way you could get them. Put yourself in a position in December to maybe make a run. That's all that counts.
Yeah, the only thing you wish is these games were like against AFC teams instead of NFC teams, because tiebreakers are going to be a thing coming down the line. So, but it's wins. Wins are wins. A very interesting day, a very interesting night. Reading all the social media responses and reading all the responses to our stream.
What, you didn't know Zach played great? We're just two negative hating assholes.
But you know what? The one thing I will say this. There's 2 things that are very tough to do is watching the game while streaming is tough to do because you got to watch the game, watch the chat, all the interaction, you're reacting in real time. You're not like sitting digesting all of it. And then doing a post-game reaction video, you're basically going over what you remember from seeing on the game and your little notes. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? Like, if we didn't stream, I could sit and watch the game and focus on it 100%. I think somebody takes me a little bit different because you can focus on it and be more like analytical. But we have like jokes and shit going on and all kinds of.
Do people really tune into Let's Talk Jets for the analytics, for the X's and O's? Fuck no. They tune in for the genuine reactions, which they get live time over 3 hours. You see the highs and lows and the roller coaster of the stream. That's what we are on this channel.
Well, that's the whole thing. No, that's the whole thing. It's like we always say it. Like I was just talking to Ian about this. It's like this is like watching the game with us at a bar or at the game. Like we're like I'm cursing and yelling and pissed off and we're just fans, man. You want to see good things happen, and we kind of share our thoughts as the game happens. It's so easy to have hindsight. Well, you should have said this. No, it's how we felt, man. Like, and if you don't like it, if we come off whatever, it is what it is. Yesterday was a ridiculously ugly game, very, very ugly. They're quite fortunate to win. But before we go into the game, there's something I want to ask you about because it's Monday night. The trade deadline's tomorrow at 4:00. So by the time we do a show tomorrow night, the trade deadline is going to come and go. To me, we got a lot of questions today about should the Jets be buyers? And I'm like 100% because here's the reason. The injuries, dude. Like the Jets offensive line now is decimated. And I know Saleh said today, everybody's looking for offensive linemen. Dude, we don't have a starting center right now. We don't have a right guard. Like you have to be a little more aggressive just for the sanity of your offense, no?
But where are you finding a starting center, and to what extent are you going to be buyers? Like, are you actually willing to give up a significantly high draft pick in the future? Like, I know they don't have their second rounder next year. I don't think they could trade their first rounder either. With the Rodgers deal.
Would you do a 4th rounder?
I would do anything like 4th or 5th. I absolutely would. 3rd rounder depends who you're getting. But what kind of player are you looking for though? Like I don't think you're going to find a starting center. I think you could definitely find some interior linemen. Like I saw a few people talk about some of the guys they had in training camp, Chris Glasser, Adam Pankey. Pankey, he knows Hackett's system from Green Bay. He was here all of preseason, played in a few games. Like you want to pick up somebody like that, I'm completely fine with it. But as far as making a big time move or allocating a ton of cap space for the future, I don't know if you're even going to find that player.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a challenge now because this offensive line's a bona fide mess. And they didn't play well, but now you're looking at, there was a time I didn't even know who Xavier Newman was. Like, he came in the game. I'm like, who the hell is Newman? And now why is Newman my center? Like, how the hell did he come in here? And, like, the litany of injuries and how it devastated this offensive line. And right now, as we go into a week away from the game, and we don't know who our line is. We have no idea who's going to be starting the line. Because McGovern's out. Schweitzer's out. Tippmann, I doubt Tippmann's coming back. The way Saleh talked today, he ain't going to be back. That's brutal.
I think in a few weeks you might see Tippmann, but McGovern and Schweitzer, they're on IR, so you're not having them for at least 4 weeks.
Nope.
Possibly you get Dwayne Brown back, but you have your 2 tackles right now, so I don't know where that really helps you.
Carter Warren's a tackle.
Options.
Right, Carter Warren's a tackle, and he's a project. Saleh said he's like months behind in terms of learning. So you have what depth you have. You mentioned it. Dwayne Brown coming back doesn't really help you because Becton's your left tackle, Mitchell's your right. If you want to move, whatever. Becton didn't play that great yesterday, but I'm not really moving him. Yeah. So then if you have Carter Warren's a tackle, okay, Billy Turner's probably going to be playing, right? The offensive line, dude, it's just
Billy Turner's probably your best option, honestly, right now as one of your guards opposite Tomlinson.
What a mess,
dude.
What
we do at center. I thought Newman held up pretty well. All things considered, not having any practice reps, there were plenty of plays where Zach actually did have some time to throw. I thought they held up pretty well. And then you got to give him credit also for the last play in regulation, getting that ball spotted right. That was the difference in the game right there. If he doesn't
Yeah, I
spot
mean-
that ball correctly and the refs has to redo it, that game's over.
Yeah, he did the hurry up. He did it. You got thrown completely to the wolves, and he had Dexter Lawrence whooping his ass,
Yeah.
and he kept coming back for more. Like Dexter Lawrence for as good as he is, I think he's underrated, dude, because he was a force yesterday.
Monster.
Had like 3.5 sacks or 3 sacks. So the offensive line, to me, like I know it's easy to say they got to make a move. I mean, they're going to have to make a move, but if you have to trade a 4th rounder, dude, I do it. Like you got to get somebody here because it's twofold. First of all, you need an offensive line just to even just establish your offense. Zach was running for his life yesterday, but then if you're looking down the line and we stay relevant and somehow, some way, Aaron Rodgers is around December 24th, you want to protect him as well. Like you want to keep your team in the mix. So to me, offensive line is a need. And then this one, I don't think it's a surprise to anybody, but wide receiver, dude. And here's where you can be a little bit more aggressive because some of the guys that are available are under contract for more than 1 year. You know, like you got your Suttons, guys like that are out there. Now, the problem with Denver is that, you know, the whole Hackett and Peyton thing, all the bad blood and all this other nonsense. But the other thing is Hackett also coached these guys, so he knows how good they are and how they fit in his offense. But to me, I think wide receivers a need, dude. Cobb's banged up. Charles is banged up. You know, Jason Brownlee's a rookie. You know, what do you think there?
I'd love a nice possession receiver in the slot. I know I brought up Hunter Renfrow a few times. Part of me, though, would rather almost getting a rental, not somebody that would be on the books for next year making a lot of money, because I do think they're going to try to make that splash move in the offseason, whether it's, you know, a Mike Evans type or, you know, trading for a Devontae Evans. I do think they're going to be in line for a legit type of number 1 receiver that you could put opposite Garrett Wilson. So, you know, I'd be much more in favor of giving up, you know, a 5th or a 6th rounder for somebody that just might be here, you know, for the remainder of the year, and then you can part ways with after if he doesn't fit.
So I see Jamison Crowder in the chat wants to come back, but
He had a huge game yesterday.
Yeah, we got storms right now, dude. So if I'm lagging, it's all me. The wind's blowing, rain. I'm dying over here. So I had the same problem with Ian just a little while ago. But is there any other spots you could see where it's like, you know, offensive line, you have, you know, wide receiver? I personally wouldn't deal Carl Lawson unless you get an offer you can't refuse, because you're one injury away to Jermaine Johnson and Bryce Upper playing very well to needing them.
That could also mean more reps for Will McDonald. You could still move JFM to the outside. You know, if you get blown away with an offer and maybe you can put that draft capital towards the position that you do need, maybe it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, you still want depth, and the defense is playing so well right now. You know, I don't think it makes sense to do it for nothing.
And you also just lost Al Woods for the year too, so it's another man down. So it's like, you know, you may have to have John Franklin Myers inside more. Like it's still, I think he's a piece to the puzzle. I think he's just like, you don't want to throw him away, just throw him away, right? You want to keep him around unless it's like an offer, unless he's saying, you know what, I want to be traded. If that's the case, I know he was inactive yesterday. He's been active a couple times, but
I think that's probably going to be the case with Dalvin Cook. I think in almost all certainty, he's probably asked Joe Douglas to try to find a deal for him somewhere that he could actually go and play a little bit more.
Now, if you get an offer from an AFC team that's competing with you, and it's a good offer, what do you do with Dalvin Cook?
I would still trade him if it's a good offer.
Think so?
I mean, is he really the difference in knocking you out of a playoff spot? Is he elevating another team that much? I mean,
you trade him to the Ravens?
I would.
Okay.
Well, it depends what you're getting back. I mean, if it's a 6th or a 7th rounder and you can find a team in the NFC that's willing to do that, you trade him to the NFC. But if, you know, you're talking like a 4th or a 5th rounder, something a little more significant, then yeah, best offer.
Okay, fair enough. I probably wouldn't do that. I'd be nervous to do that. I think I'm lagging. Am I lagging right now too?
You froze a little bit early on, but now you've been pretty good the last few minutes.
Yeah, I can reboot if I
got
have
a
to.
fly that's buzzing around. It's annoying the shit out of me right now.
So let us know what you think about the trade deadline. I think the Jets should be active. They have plenty of moves to be made. This is what Joe Douglas gets paid for, man. Because this is a team that you're 4-3, dude, and the AFC is so wide open. Like everybody's in the mix and everybody's in competition. You don't want to give it away by making mistakes. Trade for Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, I wish we could.
Yeah. Could have traded for Leo.
Is Michael Carter trade bait?
He could be if they want to get a look at Izzy. But I still think it's going to be Dalvin Cook. If you're trading one of your running backs, it's going to be Dalvin Cook. So if you trade Cook, you need Carter and you need Izzy as your 2 and 3.
I would love to see them find a way to get Izzy on the field, but him in pass protection and stuff like that's a risk. But you want that speed, especially when Gibson got banged up yesterday. You're like, where's the speed in this team? Like your speed on offense is gone. You traded away Hardman, and Izzy's your elite speed guy.
Well, Malik Taylor. I mean,
Malik Taylor, that's the guy too. Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point. Trade for Hollywood Brown. You know, the funny thing too is that a lot of teams that we want to make trades with are actually winning games, right? So it's just like everyone's like, oh, Denver's gonna fire herself. Denver's winning games. The Raiders win tonight. They're still in the mix. Like, if anything, maybe you look at like Minnesota with Kirk Cousins out, teams like that. Tennessee, it's NFL is so freaking weird.
Looks like the Vikings could be trading for a quarterback also. They got all the rumors tonight with Jameis.
Yep. Michael Carter to Pittsburgh for Nate Herbig. We should have kept Nate Herbig.
Yeah. I still think they're more likely to just pick up somebody off, somebody's practice squad. The guys I mentioned, like Glasser or Pankey, somebody like that that's been here, that would know the system a little bit. I don't see them making a trade for an offensive lineman.
What is Ben Jones' health, though? That's the question. It's tough. Yep. So do you want to go into this game prime time?
I mean, I guess if we have to, we can. I mean, I already know what people are going to say about our takes, but I guess if you want to start on a positive, the one thing that I feel like is different from 2 weeks ago is that however bad the first 59 minutes were for the offense, in particular the quarterback, he actually did make some plays in those final 30 seconds. However unscripted it was, however unpredictable it was, he did make some throws, albeit against a prevent defense, albeit after Dable played not to lose and you got the free timeout with the offsides. Like, all that worked in our favor, but he actually did make some throws. So for that, I can give him a little bit of credit. Otherwise, we're still talking about pretty much the same quarterback. Last in passing, last in third downs, last in red zone. It's a lot of the same shit with this offense. And I still don't think it's sustainable at this level. Hopefully it is.
Yeah, the thing is like watching the game real time, my reaction real time, I was disgusted. That was some of the worst football I've ever seen in my entire life. It was gross. When you consider all the things that you're playing against a backup quarterback, they are -9 passing yards, and you should have lost the game. The Jets should have lost yesterday. They got lucky as hell. They got bailed out by the kicker and the penalty and all kinds of other stuff. With Zach, I mean, I'll go to the offensive line first. It was just the injuries decimated him, dude. It was like that. Thibodeau got roasted. I mean, roasted Becton. But the one thing I don't understand is, like, what are the adjustments? Like, if your offensive line is banged up and you see Mekhi Becton struggling, you shouldn't be going empty backfield, right? Shouldn't you give him help? You should put Baldwin in the backfield, use your tight ends more, change it up. Like, shouldn't we see a little more versatility? Because you saw that even Newman was getting blown off the ball a couple times. Like, all right, maybe we got to get protection. Maybe we got to change it up a little bit. The play calling from Hackett is weird to me. How they use play action pass is weird to me. And then they never take anything vertical. No, guess what happened to the ball when the ball goes vertical? Guess what happens? He plays well. Yep. And it opens up things. Guess what? You can get pass interference. You can do all these different things. I don't understand the play calling. I don't understand the mindset. It's like a 15-yard offense. That's what they run.
Well, in fairness, they were 0 for 5 up until the very end on passes that were over 10 yards. But yeah, I do think to a certain extent, Hackett, obviously the play calling wasn't great by any means. You got to take more chances down the field. You got to stretch the defense a little bit. I think that would have opened up the running game a little bit more. But all things considered, also with the offensive line, like when you're on your fourth string center, how much can you really expect there? So yes, Zach faced some pressure. There were some times where, Lawrence was mauling him, where Thibodeau had his moments as well. But that's also where the internal clock of the quarterback comes in. You got to have a sense of that pressure. You got to know where your checkdowns are. You got to be able to scramble, get outside the pocket, throw the ball away, which on that second to last drive, I don't even get me started on that one. So
yeah, the play calling is suspect to me. I don't understand it. Even having motion, they can't get the running game started, which is no surprise at this point with the offensive line, and defenses know what they're trying to do. Sooner or later, they're going to stop Breece Hall out of the backfield. That's the screen pass. I just expected more creativity, dude, to be honest with you, especially when you know what you're going to face off a bye week against this Giants defense.
Yeah, and look at the Giants in the second half. I mean, they didn't move the ball well by any means, but they had that one end around. They had the RPO where DeVito ran it in for the touchdown. Like, at least they had a few wrinkles, things that were a little bit creative, whereas like the Jets, there's not really much that's outside the box.
No, there's not. And then so you look at, the offensive line was struggling. The injuries just ruined them. It's hard to even say there. So the play calling is weird. You can't establish the run. Breece Hall has the great play. It's a 50-yard thing. The usage of Dalvin Cook and Michael Carter now is just weird. Like, you look how the Giants use Barkley. Can't the Jets use Breece like that?
I think part of it also is still limiting his reps a little bit. I don't think they want to give him 25, 30 touches a game. Saleh could tell us all he wants that, he's not on a pitch count anymore, but you're still not going to have him out there for, 90% of your plays. I just don't think that's smart coming off a major knee injury for a young kid that's, in his second year. So you're going to have Cook and Carter out there a little bit. Problem is with Cook, though, I feel like he's a guy that needs volume in order to get in a rhythm. He's even said it himself. So when he's out there for one or two plays and then he comes off and then he comes back in, the next series, like, how good is he? What we're seeing, he's not very effective like that.
Thanks, I'm lagging again.
Fine with me.
It's gotta be me, man. It's definitely me. I'm sure it is. The other thing too is that anything 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, I have zero faith in this offense. How is it so difficult for this team? I don't understand.
I have no idea. And I don't even know what the answer is at this point. Try the tush push, or they got to do something, because throwing the ball on 3rd and 1's not working. I think they tried to run it once. That didn't work. It got stuffed. I don't even know what the answer is, honestly. Like, we're the only team in football that makes 3rd and 1 feel like it's 3rd and 15.
Yeah, dude, it's like I'd rather have 3rd and 4. You feel almost more comfortable. So you have the running backs didn't contribute other than Breece Hall. Offensive line, to me, the wide receivers were disappointing. And I know Garrett Wilson had 100 yards. They all contributed with drops. Every one of them. Even Garrett had a bad drop. Lazard, I think he had 2. Garrett had 1. Breece had 1. It's just Conklin had 1. And it's just like, that's just, like everybody's got to contribute, right? And like you want to have hold everybody the same standard. We're gonna criticize the shit out of Zach, which is fine. But dude, we see these drops every week, and you talked about these drops during training camp.
I mean, you even said it during the stream, though, about what the Packer fans told us about Lazard. This is pretty much who he is. He'll make 3 or 4 good plays every single week, but he'll also have those 1 or 2 drops that sometimes are drive killers. So I thought that was definitely big, and that's part of the reason why I kind of agree with you that they do need to try to go out there and make a move for a receiver. But, it is what it is at this point right now. I'd start giving other guys some looks. I would see what you have with Jason Brownlee at this point. Give him more reps. Malik Taylor, he could stretch the field a little bit, maybe give you that vertical presence that you need. Like, I'd start having a little more competition and just rotate some guys in and out.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the theory that the Giants defense played up like they did against Buffalo? I mean, we expected this. I expected the Giants defense to be this good. I wasn't surprised at all. Like, we saw that against Buffalo. We saw them against Washington. We knew what they were bringing to the table here. Right.
No, we know they have a strong defensive line. And then once you started losing guys on your offensive line, it becomes even more challenging. So, yeah, I expected a pretty good effort from the Giants defense. I thought we left a lot of plays on the field, though, which was disappointing.
And now this is the one thing that drove me crazy today is I tried to avoid social media because I'm just like, I've learned my lesson with that. So, but it's like, I get the weather happens. It's rainy. It's the Meadowlands. You're also a Northeast team, right? And your job is to catch the friggin' football. It wasn't like they're playing in like the Buffalo weather where it's like the blowing winds. Like, dude, catch the ball. And a lot of these,
the slightest developments becomes an excuse for everybody on offense. We can't throw the ball. We can't catch the ball. We can't do anything. If it's even drizzling, a little sprinkle, a little bit of wind, suddenly everything's thrown off and we can't play football.
So the drops are disappointing, and then it's just like, the use of the players just drives you crazy. Like, you want to see more Ruckert, then you see how the game's developed. You can't block, bring Bawden in. So then you go to the quarterback, and there was a point, if we're being honest, there was a point where I was like, if you watch the stream, you knew I was fed up. I'm like, put Tim Boyle in the game. And if we're being honest, I said this 2 weeks ago, Trevor Siemian should have been the backup quarterback yesterday. He should have been, because and this isn't saying, we got to start Trevor Siemian. You got to say our offense needs a spark. We can't do shit in the offense. Maybe try somebody else. And you say, you know what? Zach's starting next week. We brought Trevor in for a spark. We wanted to see what happens. It worked. It didn't work. I don't give a shit. You're giving your team the best chance to win. That's the point I was with Zach. Now, I know Dan Orlovsky and Daniel Jeremiah posted all their videos today of how Zach played great and did all these things. As just a basic dumbass fan that I was, I hate his situational awareness is still a problem. He's still taking bad sacks. He had the If things worked out the way they're supposed to, we would never even seen the friggin' drive in the fourth quarter. The Jets would have lost.
Exactly.
Right? You kick the field goal, we don't see it. The friggin' penalty on Thibodeau, we don't see it. Like, he got so lucky that those two things happened, because the narrative today would have been a lot different. Jet fans would have been roasting him, roasting Saleh, everything else. He did some good. He did some bad. He's way too inconsistent. And the 4th and 1 pass to Breece Hall, dude, was like that. See, everybody wants to say how he came up clutch in like the fourth quarter and overtime, and I'll give him credit for that. The throw to Lazard, amazing. The throw to Garrett Wilson, amazing. But he made mistakes before that. We almost didn't get to those spots.
But he never even should have had the ball in that position. That's why I agree with you about Siemian. At some point this year, you have to have a plan in place if your offense and your quarterback just comes out flat the way it did. And if you heard Willie Cologne's rant, after the game, like, you had 3rd and 4 stringers out there on the offensive line that were battling their ass off. And when Zach did have time, I know he didn't on every single throw, but when he did have time, he was still sitting in the pocket with no clue. that second to last drive was absolutely like rookie shit.
Yep.
Dude, we have 7 games this year. He's got 5 touchdowns. You have a rookie quarterback in Levis who goes out there and throws 4 touchdowns yesterday in one game. Like at a certain point, you need your quarterback to be able to produce offense, to be able to overcome some little things around you, some pressure, some drops. He's got to start elevating guys in year 3, and he's just not capable of doing that right now. So do I give him credit for some throws? Yes. But the problem is we still have this conversation almost every week where we're picking out individual throws that he makes, yet the entirety of the drive is not resulting in points. They're not producing anything when they actually do get in the red zone, and they're absolutely lost on third down when teams know that he's going to throw the ball.
100%.
So this is a problem. This is a problem.
And the problem is too, is right now it's like in situations like this, your quarterback has to save you. Your quarterback has to help you overcome injuries, help you overcome the drops, the offensive line play, all this stuff. He's got to elevate his game to kind of offset all these other things. That's what the next level quarterback does. Can Zach do that? As of now, he's not. But the Jets need him to be. Like they need him now because now they're getting desperate, dude. Where it's like the defense is playing at a great level. Special teams has been ridiculously good. But now the offense is struggling. And now it's like all the injuries where it's like, all right, listen, man, we can only do so much to patch up this offensive line. We probably can't run the football. You've got to play a lot better to keep us relevant in this season.
It's almost like every single piece around him has to be perfect just to have an average offense. Like that second to last drive, I think it was the first down when they were right around the 40-yard line. He's outside the pocket. He could throw the ball away, but he's almost trying to run with it when a guy's right on his heels and he takes a 10-yard sack for no reason. Yep. And then 4th and 10, you could even find the clip of Saleh on the sideline. Throw the ball. Like he said it to whoever was standing next to him. Throw the ball. And like taking a sack in that situation on 4th and 10, like there's no reason for that. You have to know, throw it up. Maybe you get a flag. Maybe your receiver makes a play. Maybe you take a late hit. Something good can happen by throwing the ball. By you taking a sack, you essentially gave up on the play. And in fairness, never should have had the ball again to come back and win it.
No, that's the whole thing. It's like, listen, like I will give him credit for the things that he did, like in the overtime, money throw, the play, like he did good things in the late 4th quarter and in overtime, but the other things drive you crazy, dude. And it's just like, and you got to think like, I try to think I've never been a quarterback before, thankfully, because I'd probably whatever, but
I have freshman year.
But I'm saying like, you got to figure on that 4th down play, Hackett, somebody's got to tell him in his ear, listen, don't take a sack, throw it. If you get picked off 40 yards downfield, dude, it's a punt. Right? Like,
why is that something that would even need to be communicated?
I'm just saying
to a 3rd-year quarterback.
I'm saying, but just saying, dude, you like
that's got to be known though.
But dude, I have you have veteran fighters, dude, that in sparring, you give them little reminders. Hey man, remember this? Don't forget to do that. Like just like the last thing you hear in your head is, all right, don't take a sack, right? All right, cool. Like little things like that. That it's just to fine tune. And we're, last week against the Eagles, they were good between the 20s. You're like, all right, against the Chiefs, he did good things. Like yesterday, he had some good moments, and they had moments that could have lost them the game. Literally could this is where I keep saying it. Winning is a great deodorant because yesterday him and Saleh got bailed out big time. And if anybody watched their stream and saw me on Twitter, I was already saying this was the worst loss in Saleh's tenure as a Jet because it was disgusting. Coming off a bye against a backup quarterback with an offense they didn't want to throw the football. They weren't even trying to score points. They're trying to survive, and the Jets couldn't take advantage of it. So.
They were seconds away in this game from having only 7 points. They were 2 minutes away 2 weeks ago from only putting up 12 points of offense, a combined 19 points over 2 weeks. That's just not going to get it done.
Nope.
Like the offense has played bad enough where this team could be 1-6 or 2-5. Defense has played well enough to be 5-2, possibly 6-1. Like defense has played out of their mind this year. But at some point, like the same way it happened last year, if the defense takes even the slightest step back, you're going to need your offense to step up and actually put up points. If they can keep winning like this, if they could stack up 10 wins like this, I'm all for it. As long as they keep winning, you don't have to make a change. But at some point, you have to think like you're going to have to put up points, and the quarterback's going to have to be better for that to happen.
Yeah, and like, listen, I see all the comments. It's just like it was raining. Nobody's getting open. Well, if nobody's getting open, that's on Hackett and that's on the players. Then you make changes there. The rain, I mean, you play in Northeast. So now every time it rains, we're allowed to have bad quarterback play. Like at some point, you could just say, listen, you want to see Zach succeed. He did some good, but you got to acknowledge the bad. And the bad yesterday was bad, dude. Like the sack, the missed throws, you're like,
and how many replays did we see watching it live where they did show somebody that was wide open? And sometimes, yeah, it's maybe the smallest of windows where he has to know to get rid of it at that exact precise moment, but he doesn't.
Yep.
And we even talked about it, with Ed and Rob on 2 Thursdays ago. The concept of throwing guys open has been completely lost in this offense. Like, we're just at the point where it's just hit a receiver that's open. The great ones, and I'm not saying he's anywhere close to this yet, but the great ones could actually put the ball in a place where they throw their guys open. You watch Tua do it all the time. He throws to a spot where there's nobody on the defense, right? And his receiver goes and gets it. That's what the great ones can do. And he's not even close to being at that level yet.
Bro, this comment's comical. It says, which backup quarterback wins you the game without a running game? All across the NFL, teams are finding ways to like the Jets offense is difficult to watch. The reason why we watch it is because we're fans and we're diehards. A casual fan turns that game up, but this game is shit.
I just gave you the example of a rookie backup quarterback who went in there and threw 4 touchdowns when our quarterback has had 7 games and he's only thrown 5. Like, that's not glaring to you?
Dude, they don't have a vertical passing attack. The offense looks very difficult. The passing game looks difficult. It's like a ridiculous amount of effort for easy plays. Like, even watch Tyson Badgett last night, man. Like, he had to hit the guy in the end zone. The guy dropped it. Like, they're airing it out, throwing it around. Like, it's just weird. And the thing I wonder the most is if it's Salah's mindset, or even he kind of tells Hackett, listen, we have confidence the Giants can't score a lot of points today. Yeah. Keep the offense down. Like, we're comfortable only scoring 13 points. I'm confident we can win. And the reason why I say that is because whenever the Jets hit a shitstorm, like Kansas City, like the Eagles, all of a sudden the offense opens up. Like, listen, we're not going to win with 7 points today. We got to score some points. Then the ball goes downfield. Then they open it up. It's almost like I'm wondering about their overall approach to the game on offense. If that sets the tone for them, we're like, the 15-yard offense.
I think that was definitely part of it this week, where it was back to the mindset of, all right, just don't make a mistake, try to protect the football, don't put our defense in a position where they're going to, be giving up points or, stuck in their own red zone or something like that, which, unfortunately he did first series of the game, fumbles, and that was 3 points right off the bat. So,
and this is a discussion about the game. If you want to have pom-poms, go watch something else, because we're going to talk about the defense next and praise them. Like, this was literally one of the ugliest fucking games I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it was gross. Like, it was torturous to watch it. There was nothing enjoyable about watching the game. No. The Breece Hall touchdown, great. The defense getting sacks, wonderful. Other than that, this was garbage. It was terrible football. So let's talk about the defense for a little bit, who only gave up 7 points, right?
But and against any other team, that's a loss. Against any other quarterback, that's a loss. But
yeah. And that's the whole thing. It's like they were lucky to were playing the Giants, and Tyrod got knocked out of the game. But a credit to the defense. The defense came out first quarter. They came out because Zach fumbles the ball. You're like, oh, here we go. We're gonna be down 7-0, right? Yeah. So I don't know, man. I knocked my way.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Oh. So the defense off the first quarter, where they always start out slow, they came out balls to the wall in the first half. Give up this third quarter, they give up the score. But dude, they're flying around. Quincy Williams is playing great. I mean, Bryce Huff, Jermaine Johnson, they're Sauce and DJ Reed don't give up anything. But now here's the catch. The fucking penalties, dude. Like, this defense is, listen, I love aggressive play. I love the tenacity. Right now, you're good for at least 2 to 3 personal fouls every week from this defense. Every week. And it's always, and what's happening now is it's happening on scoring drives too.
But at the end of the day, like, it's hard for me to get upset at anything on the defense. And I agree, the penalties were ridiculous, just completely undisciplined. The Michael Clemens offside, which extended that drive, that was terrible. The 2 from Quincy, the 1 from Jermaine Johnson, like, these are all terrible penalties. But at the end of the day, when you're only responsible for giving up 7 points, it's hard to really expect more. Like, I'd rather them play overly aggressive and just be able to shut teams out the way they have been than to, take the foot off the gas a little bit and play passive where they're giving up more yards, more points. So if it comes with a couple penalties here and there, hopefully as the season goes on, they can hone that in a little bit more. If you're giving up if you're giving up 7 points, but you have X number of yards and penalties every game, would you sign up for it? I mean, I would.
Yeah, but I think they're getting lucky because they played against the Giants. Like, you do that, do it against Justin Herbert on Monday. You can't keep giving these. You can't, if you're playing a really shitty offense, okay, give them a chance. You don't care because the Giants are only running the ball. You keep giving Justin Herbert the ball back and more opportunities, I think it's going to be a problem, right? Because they're going to take advantage of it. Like, with the Jets doing that.
It could be, but also against the Eagles, I mean, they gave Hurts the ball back how many times? And they took it away 4 times. They shut him out in the second half. We saw what they did against Josh Allen. They had 4 takeaways there also. They saved the team in that game as well. So, I mean, if they can keep playing that way, even with a couple penalties here and there, like, at some point, yes, I probably agree with you. It's going to come back to bite them. Yep. But if you're shutting teams out and, that just comes to the territory of playing aggressive,
I'm okay penalties with last year. This happened last year, dude. The defense with the untimely penalties that hurt them. And you know what I mean? Was it C.J. Mosley did it?
Against the Bills.
what was the what the hell? The Patriot game. John Franklin Myers?
Yep.
Like it happened last year. And it's like, but this year it's like, I mean, they're playing great defense, dude. I mean, granted, the Giants are not very good. They were all Saquon Barkley, but they're playing great. But you got to clean up some of this stuff. And this just like, it's just discipline, dude. Like that Michael Clemens penalty drove me out of my mind. I'm like, it's 4th and 5 on the 8-yard line, bro. And they're punting. Like you're going to get great field position.
And that took away almost an extra 4 or 5 minutes.
It was 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like you look at overall, like, and then special teams, dude. Morstad was unbelievul.
MVP.
I've never seen punting like that in my entire life.
MVP.
But and then it's like you look at it this way. And this is what I was talking about. I forget what I was talking about this, but it's like top level defense. When they're playing defense like this, they're very, very good. Special teams. Gibson's a little bit shaky on returns, but special teams playing very well. The missing piece is the offense. And it's like you don't even need to be a great offense. 20 points a week, maybe 23 points a week. That's all we're asking for, dude. You win 22 points a week. You're gonna win 10 games this year, right?
And that's what's still like, not to belabor the point, but like that's what drives me insane about the Rodgers injury is because like all of our predictions, like from the offseason about what this team could be with the quarterback being the missing piece, they were accurate. This defense is legit. Special teams has been amazing. They were a quarterback away from being a true Super Bowl contender. And that's the part that fucking sucks. And even still, if you can find a way to just stack the wins, which again, I don't care about the style points. However you get them, you get them. If you can find a way to just get to that 9 or 10 win mark, whenever Rodgers can maybe come back, maybe you still have a shot to do something special this year.
No, I agree. And that's the thing. It's like, there's no style points. Like I'm happy this one. This is the game the Jets would always lose. Always. And I was ready for it. You saw how pissed I was. I was furious. Because like, you know the aftermath of this. There's gonna be Sal's gonna get roasted, Zach's gonna get roasted, terrible loss, Giants, all this other shit. But they found a way to win, and they're scratching and clawing. They're resilient. I give them all the credit in the world for it. But you got to build that, and you got to find a way, because the goal isn't to just, to answer Greg's question, the goal isn't to just beat the Giants, which is great. The goal is to make the fucking playoffs and to have a good season. And we're seeing things that are saying, you know what they're doing now is not sustainable on offense. It's not. There's no way you can keep winning like this. It's impossible because you're gonna be playing better teams. Furthermore, the defense is going to have a bad game sooner or later. It's just human nature. You're going to couple mistakes, a slip, whatever else. Something's going to happen to give up 24 points.
Yeah.
We're going to lose 24-3.
It's nice to at least be able to buy yourself some time to figure it out while you're still winning these games.
It's had a fucking bye week.
No, but I'm saying like you're still stacking up another win. You've won 3 in a row. You give yourself another week to try to figure something out as you're winning instead of losing, where your season's slowly starting to.
No, I completely agree. Like, and this is a great point for sneakers to boots, where the time management at the end of the game, where they spiked it. You know, they got pushed luck a little bit, but
they learned from Denver in that one. Absolutely.
But they've got to improve it. I guess my expectations coming out of the bye with 2 weeks to prepare for a Giant defense, which you knew what they were going to do. I thought the offense would be a little better than that. I thought it was. I thought Zach was going to play better. The drop passes, the penalties, the offensive line play was just disappointing. And but you move on. I mean, it's just. It was like a weird feeling after the game, right? Because you're like, all right, we won. But man, it's like that. Yeah, that taste in your mouth. Like, it's like an annoying win, right?
It felt like a loss for 59 and a half minutes. I mean, that's what it felt like. They didn't play well by any stretch, but you know, if they can make a habit of winning ugly and find a way to stack up 9 or 10 like that and make it to the playoffs, I'm all for it. I'd rather 10 ugly wins than 7 or 8 pretty wins.
Yeah, no, I'll take this. Listen, man, this reminds me so much of the Herman Edwards year with the Shrek ears. When you go inside the stadium, they give us all the Shrek ears to wear because they're winning ugly and nobody cared.
Remember that?
Yeah, and there were so many scenarios. I work with a Giant fan. He walked in like he's like purple. He was so pissed because like he's like there's so many things that went wrong for the Jets to win the game from a Giants fan perspective. Like all the things that happened, he's like, I can't believe we lost this game. Like
Giant fans aren't handling this one well. I'll tell you that.
Dude, imagine, dude, I wouldn't handle it well either.
No.
Because now they trade away Leonard Williams. Now their season's completely done.
Yep.
But yeah, and this is a good point from Bubs. You take these wins over the Chiefs game every week.
Absolutely, 100%.
So interesting time with the Jets. I guess now you look at the trade deadline and how do you save this season with the offensive line? I think that's probably minus the win, probably the biggest takeaway from this game. I think Al Woods is a big loss, but you have other guys on the defensive line you could do it. But now it's like, how do you keep this offense intact when you don't know who your starting center is going to be? It's going to be a huge problem, dude.
It's so hard to pick up quality offensive linemen too. I mean, anybody that knows, Hackett's system, like I mentioned with Panky, somebody like that, I think is definitely an option that they can pick up, pluck off a practice squad. But as far as trading for a veteran, I mean, not many teams out there have good quality starting offensive linemen that they're willing to trade.
No.
And if they are, what's the cost? What's the price?
Yeah, and I think Dwayne Brown, I guess Sal keeps avoiding the topic, but I think he's ready to come back to practice, this week or next week or something?
Well, they're saying they're close to opening up his 21-day window to practice, which could mean 2 weeks. It could mean 4 weeks. I mean, we have no idea. But even still, how does that really help you? Because he's not playing guard. I don't think Max Mitchell's playing guard.
Yeah, and so Afram says, we made mistakes that led to their only TD, and they made their mistakes at the end. That's why they lost. No, both teams equally tried to give this game away, and the Giants made the last mistakes. The Jets took advantage of it. But, I mean, you're trying to think.
What did you think about Daboll's decision not to go for it on 4th and 1?
I agree with the field goal, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, because you know why? Because I'm like, if you're going to go up by 6, and you're going to have Zach Wilson with probably 20 seconds to score a touchdown, and Zach Wilson has been dreadful up until that point.
I completely disagreed with it.
Yeah.
You still risk a blocked field goal, you risk a return touchdown, and you're still guaranteeing that the Jets are going to get the ball back. If you get 1 yard, and think about it, though, on the 3 plays prior, they got a total of 9 yards when the Jets knew they were going to run the ball. They weren't going to throw it. They hadn't thrown the ball the entire second half. We knew they were going to run it. 1 yard, game is over. That's it.
Yeah, but I would kick the field goal because I'm like, Graham Gano at that point you trust.
And I didn't even know this. Graham Gano, he was on the injury report last week.
Well, that's
the other part.
I didn't know that watching the game, but if I knew just saying Graham Gano who he is, just a chip shot kick, you make that, game is over. Zach's not scoring a touchdown in 20 seconds. I'd rather take that chance. But listen, I get it. Giant fans were pissed about that too. Like, just run Barkley, and
that's what if Saleh would have kicked the field goal there, if the roles were reversed and that's how we lost the game, I'd be livid.
See, I didn't agree with the first field goal they kicked. The one they missed. And
that one was bad too. That was also a 4th and 1, right?
I wouldn't have kicked that one. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have kicked that one.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. So you got 2 missed field goals, just sloppy, ugly game. The Jets are fortunate to win it, and it's your 4-3. Like, you keep going back to, like, if somebody told you to be 4-3 with Zach Wilson, you'd be like, I'll take it.
Sign me up.
So, like, and this is funny. The comment is Tyson is bipolar with Zach. See, I'm going to break down how this works.
Or maybe he just gives an honest opinion week to week.
Yeah. See, what I don't do is I don't chase like likes and subscribers and views. I just give a week by week assessment of what I see. If it doesn't match your narrative, I can't apologize. If I thought he made progress against the Eagles, which people don't agree with, fine. I thought he didn't play well yesterday. And Daniel Jeremiah and Dan Orlovsky saying he played great. I didn't see great yesterday. I'm just a fan. I watched the game. Like, I don't like what I'm not going to do is go watch Daniel Jeremiah's shit, come on the stream and tell you exactly what he told you. I'm not going to do that. It's just
in fairness, especially Orlovsky, a little bit Jeremiah, they have a tendency, I feel like, to try to prop up all these bad quarterbacks and say, oh, well, they're not really as bad as you think they are. Here's some reasons why they're good. If you want an honest reaction, which I thought was spot on, Willie Colon, his post game, I thought he nailed everything. He had obviously all the injuries on the offensive line, which definitely played a factor. There was some pressure, absolutely. There were some drops. There were some things he had to overcome. But his intelligence is just not there. Like, when he's holding on to the football, situational awareness, game awareness, it's just not there for a third-year quarterback. At some point, you got to be making plays to elevate some guys around you.
Yeah, so I just go game by game, evaluate what I see, and that's it. Like, I don't know what else you're supposed to do. Like, I don't hate the kid. I don't love him. Like,
nobody does. Nobody does.
Like, the goal, like, I went into this game hoping he was gonna keep building on what he was doing, and we see a much better offense. The bad sack, the bad throw to Brees, the little things you're like, we've seen this before. Then the one play where he started rolling back, fading back. I'm like, this isn't going to work well. Like, there's certain things he's done that we've seen before that aren't going to work well for him. Like, you know it, right? As you're watching the game, like, don't do it. Like, you know the throw is coming. So
I feel like we were starting to see more of those throws where he was fading back in the pocket, throwing off his back foot a little bit. Like, I feel like this was the first game where the mechanics were actually starting to break down a little bit, which is concerning. And the overall picture is still an offense that's not putting up points, that's not converting on third downs. And if you look at his entire numbers, across the season, yards per game, completion percentage, touchdowns, all of that is strikingly similar to what he was his first 2 years. It just is.
Yeah, and the thing is, and the one thing I will give him credit though is that he got his ass beat yesterday. Zach took some huge hits yesterday, so it's like the offensive line's falling apart in front of him. He's getting hit a lot. He's facing adversity. He made a couple good throws while he was getting hit. Made a couple of bad ones. Like, you saw a little bit of everything from Zach. But in order for this team to go to another level, he's got to play more consistent. He's got to play better. Period. And the passing and I'll be fair, Hackett's got to be better. The receivers got to be better. Like the entire offense has to play at a higher level. Everybody does, dude. They all contributed to the shit that was yesterday. But it's so funny. I knew it. You said it too. Like the overtime, like that last minute in overtime is like, nope, Zach is back. Zach is great. He did all these things, and he played poorly enough that he almost didn't get those chances. You get lucky.
And that was exactly what I had said to Jay when we were at the Eagle game 2 weeks ago, where once they got the interception, once they took the lead, I was like, watch, all the talk is going to be Zach played well, even though he had nothing to do with the team actually winning that game and how they came back in the final 2 minutes. We could disagree on, what he did in between the 20s, how they sustained some drives, but I felt like at least yesterday, we can pick out individual throws where, the one to Garrett on the sideline, I thought that was a beautiful throw. He took a shot, made a good throw, sideline throw. There were a few to Lazard in there that were good. Not all of them were caught. So he faced some adversity. He made some good throws. But at some point, I'll keep saying the same exact point that you've got to be able to put up points. You've got to be able to convert on third downs. And until that happens, we're talking about almost the same exact quarterback. And
this is something that, we got a lot of tweets on this too, is Matt Ryan kept saying no one's open minus Garrett Wilson. Well, that's a problem, right? Like, listen, I don't blame the entire offensive struggles on Zach. I think there's many contributors to this, including Hackett. And if guys aren't getting open, that's why you have a trade deadline tomorrow. You make moves. And that's why, not that McCole Hardman was an answer, but you had him here and he looked like he was explosive. Maybe he's a piece of, like, if you don't trust Brownlee, Brownlee got 2 snap shifts today. He didn't play a lot. Gibson got banged up. Irv Charles is hurt. You're dropping like flies. Cobb is out. Right?
Yeah. I would even consider trading for another backup quarterback. Clearly, Tim Boyle doesn't have any role on this team. He's never going to play. Nope. Simeon could be your 2 or possibly your 3 if you want to keep him there and bring in another veteran.
Yep. No, I mean, Matt Ryan can't find open receivers in a broadcast booth. Here's a good comment, though. How about Ashton Davis being used in coverage? Ashton Davis is playing well, dude.
Playing well.
I've been surprised. The defense, it's hard to really pick on anybody. The defense right now, they're playing such a high level. If anything, it's just the penalties, but they were just lighting everybody up. The Barkley yards, who cares? Like, it's just
so much for all those Jalen Hyatt takes in the preseason about Sauce. Put his ass in lockdown.
You saw Sauce and DJ Reed back there too, or just talking all kinds of shit. Yep. But the one thing I will say is, having DJ Reed back as a returner is not ideal whatsoever.
No.
So that's where you have Izzy or somebody else, where if you're going to have 6 receivers or 7 receivers active, somebody else has got to be able to return kicks other than Gibson, because Gibson's banged up a couple times, and he's also been shaky too, right? Like he had the Eagle game, he's getting a little shaky. Yeah. So if Cobb is banged up and Gibson's kind of banged up, get another return in the mix, dude. And that would be Izzy, right? That's
unless you don't trust a rookie. I don't know if there's a veteran receiver that also can fill that need. I think Hunter Renfrow, right? Doesn't he return also? Doesn't he do punts?
I think he does.
All right.
Let's see. Here's a question for you. Hey, Tyson of Primetime. Hope you're good. What is the key to giving us the best chance at beating the Chargers? Man, their offense. Eckler, they got talent all over.
They're also banged up at receiver too.
They are. Yeah, Keenan Allen's still out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the first question, Darren's going to be able to protect Zach Wilson, because you got Khalil Mack, you got Bosa. They can get after it.
Yep.
And that's the threats first and foremost. I think you got to score more than 14 points to win the game. Is that fair?
I think they're going to need a game plan that's pretty similar to what they did against KC. Where Zach's just going to have to be quick, decisive, get the ball out quick, and you're going to have to take some chances also down the field.
And you figure you got to figure MetLife Stadium should be pretty cranked up on a Monday night. They've won 3 in a row. Should be a pretty good crowd. Chargers fans don't travel.
Yeah, you're not going to have Charger fans in there, I don't think.
Should be a pretty good crowd, you'd hope, weather permitting. Okay, the next question. Don't understand how Zach plays like a robot for 58 minutes. Then the last 2 minutes, a switch goes off. He remembers how to play football. Hurry up offense, and he throws the ball downfield. He looks comfortable in the hurry up, dude. When he's running around, he looks a lot more comfortable.
He's not thinking at all.
Nope.
He just plays and he throws it. And to an extent, I think the prevent defense absolutely helped. He knew that he had to take those chances. There was 20 seconds left, so you're not going to live to see another down. You have to throw the ball. If it gets picked, it gets picked.
Yep.
So I think that's part of it. But we see what he can do when he's actually taking some chances. Like sometimes he makes some great throws. It's can he put it together consistently and lead to some points and some drives. That's
and this is another comment from Dragon. Yeah, third down. Were they 2 of 15 yesterday, weren't they?
2 of 15 after back-to-back games where they were like, what, 1 of 11 and 2 of 13 or something like that. I mean, the last 3 weeks, third downs. I don't know how they won these games playing as bad as they did on third down.
Yeah, and you figure yesterday Brees got a 50-yard touchdown, so it wasn't like they're in the red zone taking advantage of things yesterday either. So
that's now 4 drives this year, 1-play touchdowns.
Yep.
You had the Garrett Wilson one, the Brees Hall run against the Broncos, the 8-yard touchdown run against the Eagles after the pick, and then the one yesterday.
Do you guys think Zach is just scared of throwing picks, so he never throws deep? I think he's very cognizant of not throwing interceptions. I think they say we have a great defense, don't give the ball away. But taking away the vertical game is foolish because it's just this reminds me of the Chad Pennington offense when Chad hurt his shoulder. Where the Baltimore Ravens knew that he couldn't throw the ball more than 15 yards. So they kind of brought their defense in, like, we're going to dare you to beat us deep, and they couldn't do it. Zach can do it. They don't let him do it. Yeah. Like, just let Gibson just fly and take a shot downfield. Like, you get a pass interference, especially this NFL with pass interference. Like, I think it's the approach.
I wonder also if he has the ability, because I mean we clearly saw him. I got a fly flying right in my face. We saw him audible. I don't know how many times yesterday, right? So clearly they allow him some freedom to make some adjustments at the line. Yep. Is he capable of reading 8 in the box and saying, all right, I'm sending somebody deep here? Is he allowed to do that? Is he allowed to make those signals to tell Garrett to just take the top off? And if not, why are we not doing it more? Or should Hackett just say, no, this is the play call. You need to throw the ball deep anyway. I don't know what goes into that.
Who has the better coach out of Chargers and Jets? Will having the better coach matter? I'm not the biggest fan of Staley. He should have been fired the last 2 years.
We might actually have the advantage at head coach in this game.
Bro, that team wins in spite of him. They should be a 12-win team, 11-win team every year. Yep. Seriously. Yeah, we may have the better coach on Monday. That's true.
Crazy times.
I feel like DJ Reed would be a good returner. He just came off a concussion, man. The last thing I want him doing is returning kicks. You got kickers back there. You have receivers, running backs. Right? Am I wrong there?
No, I don't want to see him back there. He's too valuable as a cornerback too.
Yeah, I don't want Reed back there, man. Get some speed on the field. Let's see what we got here.
Giants played not to lose.
Yeah.
They both played same way.
With this defense, Hackett has to allow Zach to play loose and throw the ball down the field. Our defense can manage a storm Zach creates. I mean, I agree with that.
It's kind of fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all saying the same thing. It's just I don't know why they're not doing it. And you can only go so long like this, man. And I wish the media would start asking Saleh about Trevor Siemian. I wish they would.
Yeah.
Be like, at any point will Trevor Siemian become number 2 quarterback? And if not, why is he here? Because what are we doing? Right?
I think somebody will ask that this week just because of how close it got towards the end, where it was like we were all saying, like, he shouldn't have been out there at a certain point. That's how bad it looked. So
there will be a show tomorrow because we got to take calls. We won't do calls tonight because it gets too mushed up. Then we who called, who didn't call.
Yeah.
So if you guys got questions, fire them out. And we got something really important too.
What's that?
I don't know. It sounded good though. Let's see. I DM'd the Jets Twitter and told them they need a kick returner. Let me know. Look at Elmo being a team player.
There you go. Way to
Did you get Steve's Victory Monday tweet this morning?
Oh, I did see that.
He went to the game too.
Did he really?
I think so. He said he didn't leave early. I was wondering how many.
A lot of people left early.
Yeah.
Benigno actually walked out early. He was watching it outside the stadium.
I think Jake did too. You guys getting Morstead and Zerline jerseys. I'll tell you, I'm happy for Morstead, man. To see how much it means to him and like how much he cares. And if we're being honest, he shouldn't have been cut the first time when they brought Braden Mann back and cut him. He was a better kicker then too.
Yep.
So
best special teams in football.
Yep. Plenty of credit to Xavier Newman. 100% got thrown to the wolves. They ended up playing center. So I was there and stayed the full game. Never felt better showering later the night after that gross day. Yeah.
I'm sure the Giant fans were miserable walking out.
I couldn't even imagine, man. Here's a good question. When do we get Legend t-shirts?
That might be our best seller.
He's easily the best halftime show of all these streams, dude. He is the analyst that nobody else has. They're not even close to him. So let's see what else we got. And thank you guys for joining us on the stream yesterday. 'Cause apparently, like, the YouTube was a mess for everybody. So we appreciate that. Yeah, I think Morstead was on McAfee today too, right?
Oh, I didn't see that if he was.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. McAfee is really cool shit, man. I like that. I heard people ran back inside with 1 minute left. Well, how do you do that if you can't? Once you leave the stadium, you can't get back in.
Once you actually leave past the gates, you can't go back in.
Unless they were like in like the.
If you're in the concourse, you can go back to your seat. That's what David told me he did. Gangrene David was there also.
Gotta watch the tape shirts.
That would be a good one.
What was one we said yesterday? Oh, running out of humans.
I'm surprised he didn't break out that line.
Yeah, I thought for sure that was coming out. You're in Puerto Rico? Are you on vacation? What are you doing in Puerto Rico?
Get ready for a DM from Vincent.
That's
sure he's got plenty of questions for you.
Can you bring me back the rum and bring me back? Let's see. We got it. If you guys got any questions or comments, fire them out. We'll answer them. And then tomorrow night we'll do calls. Definitely improve special teams from a year ago. What was interesting, the whole Will McDonald thing was something they planned, like something they saw in film, which is really interesting.
Yeah, alter the kick.
Oh, we need a primetime shirt. Look at this.
No, I don't need my own shirt.
You live in Puerto Rico? Congratulations, man. Can we come visit? Go to Loquillo Beach? Let's see. We got what we got? The turf has been a big conversation. Tiki Barber did a really good thing on that today, talking about the Jets and Giants, how they don't just make the change, spend the money on it.
Well, it seems like the Jets want to, right?
I think so.
Yeah. It's hard not to when your players are speaking up about it.
Yeah, I mean, and you think about it, and Tiki said the same thing. It's like the investment you're making in the field, you're using the money. It's all the money you have for the injuries. Like you're protecting your investment. Like, all right, you're just going to spend $6 million. Okay. You have Aaron Rodgers making how many millions of dollars this year? Like all the guys going down, you're paying them to not play right now because they're all hurt.
Yep.
It's an investment. Oh, that's right. We got the shirts, the up-down shirts.
That's the one I want. That's the one I want.
With that, and then the now what in the back. I don't think Will McDonald tipped the kick. I think he made him.
He just altered it, I think.
Yeah, he altered it. I don't have my seats yet, man. If anybody is in Vegas, the ticket prices are ridiculous.
Are they really?
Fuck yeah, dude. Like $400 for like a second level.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, bro. The ticket, there's nothing cheap about Vegas. Nothing at all but cheap about this shit.
You definitely going still?
100% going. I'm flying in on Friday night. I'll leave it on Tuesday.
Oh, shit.
Yes, sir. So if anybody has insight on tickets to Vegas, I'm making a video about this.
Oh,
and somebody sent me there's a party on Saturday. Jake's having a party on Monday. So will you and Romeo stream next Monday? I feel like Primetime's negativity brings down the team. When Romeo replaces Primetime, they play better.
Did they win against the Chiefs? No.
They beat the Eagles.
Did they win against the Chiefs? No.
I will ask Romeo for sure. I will definitely be streaming with somebody. I'll get Afram or somebody.
Now I got to figure out if I can make it to Vegas. I'm flying out to Florida for Jay's wedding.
His wedding. When are you coming back? Sunday?
Yeah. Flying out Friday night, coming back Sunday afternoon.
That's not bad. It's like a 3-hour flight.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. Primetime's going to the game. I'm not going to the game.
I might go. I'm not definitely sold yet.
You'd be on fumes.
That's what I'm saying. I got to see how I'm feeling on Sunday. I'll check out what the ticket prices are.
You're going to be all hungover and stuff. You'd be like, oh, this is brutal.
And then I got work Monday morning. I'm like, shit.
I hear buying tickets last second, you get a better deal most of the time. Usually for most, I'm not familiar. Apparently Vegas is a lot different, man. It's just super, super expensive.
The tickets yesterday went down almost half by the time of kickoff. Yeah. Because I remember looking, I think like Monday or Tuesday, cheapest seats were about $200 in the upper deck. And I'd say about an hour or two before kickoff yesterday, there were lower seats that were going for like a little over 100.
Are you guys going to MetLife on December 3rd versus the Falcons? I'd like to meet you guys. I actually may be going to that game.
I have tickets.
I may be going to that game because a good friend of mine is a big Falcons fan, and our whole fantasy football league, we all want to go and just harass him. So if we do go, it's going to be a disaster.
I will have tickets, and there's also a lot of cheap seats already for that one, for the Commanders game.
Yeah, the Vegas tickets didn't even budge after Rodgers went out. So I'm hoping the Raiders lose tonight. Just gets anything, man.
Lions are driving right now.
Oh, let's do it. Let's go.
Up 3-0 in the second.
Can this defense be considered elite with all the really stupid penalties they take? Yeah, I mean, they're not. The penalties suck, but with the points, they're not giving up any points.
I thought it was wild to see some of the stats that I think it was Costello that put out as far as like their defensive rankings. Like they were pretty much middle of the pack coming into this game.
Yep.
It feels like they've been playing much better. I think Salah was even talking about that today, how they're just on the field for too long. Like they're not giving up a lot of yards per play, but they're on the field so long that I guess it adds up against the stats.
Yeah. Did you see Will Levis actually throw a football? Yes, I did.
I don't like watching other quarterbacks. It gets me angry.
Get a press pass for Vegas? No, because you know what? I won't even be coherent enough to get in the. There's no way. That's not going to happen. Like,
I think they would give that to you.
yeah, but dude, I won't be functional. How about I walk in there? I'm gonna be hammered for like 3 days straight.
How much are flights out there?
I paid $800.
Oh shit! All right, I'm out.
Bro, they're expensive, dude.
That's fucking crazy.
Well, look at David. Email
Look
me,
at
bro. I need
There
3.
you go. There you go.
No, dude, it was like yeah, I think it was like $800. And I tried to that's why I'm
Holy
going.
shit.
That's why I'm going Friday to Tuesday. I got it cheaper that
Holy
way.
shit.
So I'm not going. Jake's having a party on the Friday night and the Saturday night. I'm gonna try to go to Friday one. I think the Saturday one's exclusive to that hotel that he's at. So, but I think Jake's gonna come on our show next week, or yeah, maybe next week to talk about it. So, if we put this defense on Rex Ryan's team, do we get to one of the Super Bowls?
That's a tough question because those teams had good defenses. Also, they just didn't close out games.
Well, the Steeler lost. They didn't show up in the first half.
Yeah, the run defense was friggin' terrible.
But then this defense doesn't show up in the first half either.
It still gets me angry that nobody talks about the Sanchez arm going forward right before the half.
Yep.
I'll go to my grave saying that was a pass. I don't know how they called that a fumble. That was the difference in the game.
I hated that play call. But the thing is, Rex Ryan had to blitz and do exotic stuff. This defense, they have more legitimate pass rushers than that team does.
Yeah.
Did. Prime time. What are you watching right now? The Rangers or the Rangers?
I have the Lions on actually.
See,
Rangers been playing good though. What are they? 5-2.
let's.
Not rooting for Scherzer tonight though. That's for sure.
There's a Jets party. Check out Jake, man. He's got all the information Friday night and Saturday night. And there's another one right here. I got somebody told me about. Hold on. Where the hell is it? They sent me the flyer. A Las Vegas meet and greet. The Las Vegas Jets fans chapter's having something on the Saturday night. So
This is bullshit. All these parties and I gotta work.
yeah. So as what we'll do is we'll make I'll make a video begging for tickets. That's the first one we're gonna do. And then as we hear parties, we'll keep promoting them. So if you guys want to hang out, it'll be crazy. Yeah, I don't think there's any cover charge. Are you guys going to the Dolphins game? That's like what, December?
That's after the Bill game. So like 4 weeks away. That's the Friday game. Black Friday game.
Oh, which Dolphin game are you talking? The Black Friday game could be interesting. I think I want to go to that one. That's like a 3:00 game, right?
I think so, yeah.
Do we get flex from Sunday Night Football if the Raiders shit the bed? Well, the flex would have to happen this week, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks before, right?
If they flex the Raiders out, it'd have to be now. And the Jets with the ratings. It's just like let's see what you guys got here. The Black Friday game. I may want to go to that one. That'd be a fun game to go to. 3:00 on a Friday.
That's gonna be a fun game. What's the date of the Raider game? The 12th?
The Raiders 10th. Yes, the 12th. November 12th.
Trying to see what flights are going for.
If you get one cheap, I'm going to kill you. I'm like, fuck, I paid $800. You think it's getting flexed out? Well, the way you could figure out.
You paid $800?
Yep.
Stop. Would you get like first class?
From
Dude,
Newark.
There's $300 flights right now.
What?
Swear to God. At least leaving Friday, coming back Sunday.
I'm not coming back Sunday. What are you, nuts?
All right, so hold on. Leaving Friday, coming back Tuesday. Oh, even cheaper, $236. How the fuck did you pay $800?
Paid $800, dude.
Oh, fuck.
Say,
you don't have like first class or some shit. Like,
nope. Let's see. We got.
Now I'm thinking about this.
Have a safe flight, Valen. Let's see. When you compare Zach to other rookie quarterbacks on teams with a functioning play caller and a competent O-line, just isn't correct. Things don't need to be perfect. Should at least be manageable. I mean, this has been the same thing with Zach. It's a different coordinator, and it's probably better talent around him, right?
Yeah. And the problem also is not that we need to have the debate with, Mike White or Josh Johnson, but the offense did look significantly different with all those other quarterbacks that were out there. It just seemed like they moved the ball easier, completions came easier, and for a handful of those games, they also put up points. So,
yeah, I mean, it's just not like this isn't Zach's rookie year either. Like it's just, he's got plenty of experience now. And it's not week 1. I didn't book a private jet. I did. I wish, man. I'm not. Like, I swear to God, I can show my receipts. 6-0 Detroit.
I'm thinking now.
So we got here.
It's gonna be back-to-back weeks of flights. That's gonna be tough. I don't know.
You'll be fine. The MetLife parking lot with the American Dream Mall is going to be a disaster on Black Friday. Do people still go? I mean, doesn't everybody do online shopping now, though?
Still Black Friday though.
Okay. How ironic is that Becton is the only week 1 starter that's still healthy on its offensive line? Well, Tomlinson's there.
Tomlinson. Yeah, somebody else tweeted that out. I think SNY Jets was like, they had an article that 4 of the Jets' 5 starters from week 1 were out. I'm like, what about Tomlinson?
Yeah.
Tomlinson and Becton.
Let's see. What hotel are you guys staying at? I'm staying at the MGM Grand. There's some BS Formula 1 racing thinking make hotels sold out. Yeah, the hotels were expensive.
I didn't even think about hotel. Fuck.
This is my floor, man. I knew Corey Davis retiring was going to be a big hit. I mean,
that was a big loss. It's not talked about enough.
I wonder if can you get him out of retirement?
I think if Rodgers was playing, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. I have a legitimate question for Kevin. That Under Armour Jets jacket you had on yesterday, where did you get that?
Custom made. Not for sale, unfortunately.
Yeah, see, now I'm the one. See? I don't get no custom made shit.
It was all part of the VIP experience that I had against the Eagles. We all had to wear that going in.
Jesus Christ, man.
Beautiful jacket, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I can show you I'm not going to show my receipt. My card's on it. I literally spent almost $800, dude. Swear to God. And it's on, and it's actually on. I can almost tell you it's actually on United, too.
But usually prices go up as you get closer to the date.
That's why I booked it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm almost positive it's on.
That's crazy.
MGM Grand. Yep, United Airlines. I fucking give up.
I'll sell you my jacket for the plane ticket.
Sneakers or boots, you better have your drinking shoes on, my friends. You better have you have no idea what you're getting in store. Anybody wants to hang out this weekend, look out. I guarantee it's going to be a disaster. Let's see. Did anyone see Joe Beningo doing the Victor Cruz dance?
They were playing the audio of it on my ride home, but I didn't actually see the video yet.
I mean, it was wild. I mean, can you imagine being at that game? That's crazy.
I probably would have left, in fairness.
I mean, I wouldn't have left by probably, I don't know. I don't know if I would have left. I mean, that'd be tough for the Giant fans and stuff, talking all that shit.
After that 4th down sack, I was probably beating the traffic.
It's true. Is there any cheap bars near the stadium that you know of? You got Reds right there. Yeah, Reds. What's the other one? House of Mozzarella isn't expensive either. Annabella's is cheap.
Yeah.
Reds. What's up, Jomo? We didn't get no Jomo text this weekend.
I know. What the hell?
I should call United, get my money back. I think I have. I think I had that price match on my thing. I got all kinds of shit on there. MGM Grand is so expensive for no reason. I just wanted to go, man. Everything's expensive.
If they win this week, I'm going to be so tempted to go because that's definitely a winnable game. A shot to get to 6-3.
Fuck, in Vegas.
I've never done Vegas before.
That's it. Do you think Zach could be good in the run and shoot offense? It doesn't matter. They're not going to run it.
I don't know what's going to help him at this point. Listen, if they can keep winning games like this, I don't even give a shit what his final stat line is going to look like. But
the hurry up, I wouldn't mind him seeing him do more hurry up, but he's got to complete passes or defense going right back on the field. That's the problem with that.
I don't think they want to do that because then they put their defense out there again right away.
MetLife's IDing policy gets me 34 years old and they say I need ID. When I come from Scotland, I don't carry a passport.
What?
That's why we did it, sneakers and boots, because I just wanted to walk to the stadium. I don't want to take no Ubers, nothing like that. Just wanted to hang
Is it
out.
really?
We don't want Renfro. He can't catch.
He used to be able to catch.
Did he drop a pass tonight or something?
Must have.
Let's see what else we got here. Do a couple more. You guys, tomorrow night we'll do all the calls. Vegas is a must. You'll have so much fun.
So tempting.
Watch Zach post social media in Vegas partying.
No, he's got a girlfriend. He doesn't party anymore.
Yeah, criticized for going to Utah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that fucking clown doubles down on it today. Oh, that's why he played bad. Like, what a like this guy just fucking reaches for anything.
I can't. I don't acknowledge him, dude. I
The,
don't even
the
acknowledge him.
worst fucking person on WFAN I've ever listened to.
I don't think Devontae's gonna get traded this year. I think this is
No.
like after the season
Off-season.
that happened.
Off-season.
Who's going to Cleveland? Not me.
I've done that twice.
Yep. I
Hit a
passed.
deer on the way back one of the times. So
Yeah. Vegas is free if you find the right dealer. There you go.
oh shit. Okay.
Let's see what else we got here. Anything else? Any final thoughts, prime time? Telling you guys, get to Miami for December 17th game. Cheap, quick flights, cheap game tickets. I went last year. It was all right. But Jets got to be relevant, though. The game's got to mean something.
Jay was telling me about the fiasco in the parking lot that you guys had trying to find each other.
Bro, we walked around for almost an hour trying to find him in his goddamn. He's like, oh, we're in lot yellow. Like their signs are worse than the MetLife. Willie
Yeah.
walked around. I was buying beers from people, like walking my tailgates, buying beers and walking around in circles.
Well, apparently he was saying that there's lots that have like the same letter or like same number and shit.
Yeah,
that was
he's like, I'm like, then I started getting pissed off. I'm like, Jay, what color is it? He's like, yellow, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I'm standing next to it. He's like, oh, maybe there's two of these. I'm like, yeah, exactly. So I blew off the tailgate. We ended up going to a bar and started drinking. They this really cool outdoor bar outside the stadium. It's like 3 levels. They had a band playing. It was cool as shit. Yeah. So by the time Jay saw me, I was like 3 shots in, all kinds of beers. Oh, it was bad. Yeah, Miami was the worst, dude. That stadium was the worst, that parking lot. All right. Any final thoughts, prime time?
Just thinking about Vegas now.
Tomorrow night will be the callers. I'm going to be calling United Airlines for a fucking refund.
Yeah, you better get on that.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. And we will talk to you guys tomorrow night.
Later.
That's so weird.